Welcome back to the Boss Mode walkthrough series. This is going to be the final iteration of Shattered Reflections, which is Boss Mode. This will be our last dungeon of Chapter 5, then we'll move on to Chapter 6. The Boss Mode mechanic is really nothing to be too concerned about. All of the enemies have chilling skin. Really, all that means is you're going to be low on energy. So if you have a pretty decent undead team to start with, energy is not going to be really a big issue. It might come down to an issue at the very end when you need to have heals on board with Brahm and Zom. But if you've maxed out your Yorick Epic, which you should, you don't need that energy in the first place because he's going to routinely heal the team. Brahm and Zom are both going to get life back from their kills, and Hansuke is just hanging around. He's not going to take a lot of damage in the first place. So, with those few elements here, the chill doesn't really impact us very much. We just keep on plugging away. So, the stage is no different than what it was with normal mode or champion mode. Basically, if you have a decent enough team, you just auto run through it. Not much of an issue. Just keep on plugging away. Um, you do have the mini boss that will come up again. She will throw that boss frostbite on you. Not really much of an issue again. We didn't see it as a problem the last time around. We certainly won't see it as a problem this time around. By the time we get to the end, King Kong, really nothing has changed. The mechanics are the same. He might be just a little bit tougher in terms of health pool. I don't have statistics on that, so I don't know what the exact numbers are, if he's got higher attack, higher defense, or things like that. What I do know for sure is that he is immune to everything. You cannot use a single debuff. So it is literally just a marathon of attacks. So you kill his projectiles and then just slowly wear him down. So if you're planning on using things like lower his defense with a Kozar friend, you could try it, but it really is only going to be good for a couple thousand damage, and that's going to be it. You're not going to get any of the debuff benefits. So all you can do is just simply attack and wear him down. So we see we got the boss frostbite on us here. Not a huge issue, like I said, because we're not going to be using abilities. The only time you need to use abilities is if Brahm does get fairly low in health. If Yorick's doing his job, he should be polishing them off pretty good. Um, so keep in mind, you should always have at least one revive potion. Um, with the undead team, I rarely need energy. So if this is your first time that's trying to go through and beat this on boss mode, if you don't normally need the energy either, I would just say bring along 3 revive potions just in case the worst happens. Once you get to King Kong, you should be able to go the distance. It might take you 10 or 15 minutes to beat, which the first time that I went through it on boss mode, I'd say it probably took me roughly 12 to 15 minutes on just King Kong, just slowly wearing him down with regular attacks. So it's certainly not a speed run by any stretch. You do need to be patient. You do need to follow the mechanics and make sure that you just wear things down. So a long boss fight every now and then is not the end of the world. Anyone who's ever played Final Fantasy 12, there was a alternate side boss in that game. I think it took roughly 8 hours to beat. So if you have the patience for something like that, you can certainly spend 10 or 15 minutes on one boss here. You'll see the mechanics haven't changed though. Remember the basics though. He's going to do Tantrum, kill both the projectiles, and then you get 6 more hits after that if you kill them in the first 2, like this here. Anytime you get an epic from Hansuke, that's nice, because then you get 2 hits from Brahman Zom, which is straight damage into King Kong. Then you get 4 consecutive hits. And then we're going to be dealing with another set of falling objects with his Tantrum. Maybe it's 8 consecutive hits after that. I guess I don't really count them. But if you do need to micromanage and count these attacks, keep in mind that he should be using his Frost Breath next. It's not a bad idea once you get to that second Tantrum there. Use Yorick's defensive buff just to kind of protect yourself. If you get lucky and Hansuke buffs defense as well, that's just an added bonus. I'm not sure about the stacking mechanics, but you want to be able to handle this attack. And even with the defense buff, it still hurt a little bit here. Not enough to prevent from beating this level here, but um, as long as Yorick does his job and gets a couple more heals in there, that Frost Breath will be a thing of the past. We really shouldn't see that again, and then it's just a matter of dealing with his primary attacks at this point. So same mechanics, kill both projectiles, and then either 6 more or 10 more straight attacks. Um, there's nothing really you can do to increase the damage to King Kong other than to try and get your attacks with Zom and Braum. The only way you can do that is if both Yorick and Hansuke can kill one of these apiece. If you have to waste one of your attacks or both of your attacks, like I just did here with Braum and Zom on those, all it does is it basically just adds a turn to the level, which in the scheme of things, not really a huge issue when you're talking about a 50 or 60 turn match anyways, and I would say that's underestimating. I haven't been counting, but it wouldn't shock me if this is a 100 turn event. But it's probably not that many, but it's a lot of rounds. So keep on plugging away, and like I said, you can use your friend hero at the end if you want to. It's not really necessary because you're not going to get any of the debuff benefits out of it. It's really just a way to get some extra damage in there. My preference is you save that until the very end if you're out of revive potions and you need something to guarantee a 3-star win. A lot of people aren't going to want to do this over and over and over just because of the sheer duration. In terms of time, the boss mode iteration here has actually been the fastest one for me so far, which is either a testament to the quicker stage progression or just getting a bunch of better hits on him, but it's considerably faster than the previous run. So not really sure what the deal was, but keep on plugging away. So coming up next, we're going to have the next chapter. We'll be moving on to chapter 6, and we'll go through all 3 iterations there. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to come again. Thanks.